Alright, this is a little weird. Watch your mouth, girl. Um, I drew this last night, I guess. I don't know. This was just the chart that I had open. This is what our daily chart is looking like. Kind of like this little crossbar. Pretty decent for some good follow through. Weekly, obviously, we're still at near that. I mean, we're just underneath the trigger, so it's not a bad long. And it's holding up nicely. Oops. Oh, not a oops. Okay. This is our 4 hour chart that we are putting in right now. Um, Clearly looking a little bit like a channel. I think like during this part, it was like we could have said that there's a channel forming here, kind of thing. Um, but it's kind of evolved a little bit more. I mean, this was obviously a channel, right? This broke out of the channel, and then this trend line break, get another, put in a high above here, and get a little bit of rejection. It's kind of looking like, this is looking like one leg up, second leg up, and then possibly a failure up here, and then a rejection down into maybe the 40 kex area. But yeah, we are looking at what looks like a bigger channel, so it's possible that that may not be the case. But even still, one, two, three pushes to the top of the channel. So this is a pretty good, reasonable point to find a reversal. So it maybe does make sense to be looking for some shorts, given that this is broken, and then this has pretty handily broken. We put in this little channel, bear flag on, or bull flag, sorry, on this pullback here. A little easier to see on lower time frames. Like this was a pretty clear, I think, especially on the 15 minutes where we really identified it. And this also kind of had a thing of one push, two push, three pushes down, and then we went into a little bit of a sideways range here, following that third push down. Rejected again from the top of the range, but wasn't able to break the low and certainly wasn't able to tap the bottom part of the range. So the bottom part of the channel. So it does look like this channel is probably resolved. Looking like it's leading into following that. Um, Looking like possibly beginning a reversal, possibly beginning what could be a second leg up. And I mean, on this 1 hour chart, let me just clear drawings now because I do want to talk about this. We had the original pump, we had this, what is this called? Test of the high. And then we put in a bit of a pullback. Here's the high one. Failed, obviously. Your high two is kind of here. That also fails. So this is your high three, and it's basically been holding, and also kind of led to this push up. A lot of chop here though, so let's take a look on the 4 hour chart instead. Here we have high one, obviously, right? And then, the other thing that's nice about this is it doesn't look like an extreme minute test, because otherwise you could say, what you could say is, this is the high one, failed. You don't really say that this is the high two. I guess you kind of say this is still the high two, and then the high three. What I was going to say is you can kind of say this is the high two, this is the high three, and then this is your high four, and that kind of makes it make a little bit more sense that it's getting some follow through. And of course, we're bouncing beautifully off of this 55 EMA and kind of putting in, to an extent, what is it called? A bit of a channel kind of thing. A little bit of deviation to the upside, but back to the low, and then, taking another shot right now. But on 4 hour chart, pretty easy to just go, here's your high one, failed. This is your high two, with not a great close, but bounced off of the EMA. I mean, this is like an M2B, right? Because it's your high two bouncing off of the EMA. Unfortunately, I don't get a good a good close, but I think it's decent enough with this push up, and then obviously we have one push down and a second push down. Like we did assess, it is within a channel, but then that channel, like we did assess, is on a low time frame. You can identify 1, 2, 3 pushes down into the channel. So a lot of confluence there for there to be a bit of a bounce at this area. And strong bounce here. Strong rejection, but holding that EMA and looking like we're wanting to put in another good bar here. So if we put in like this small bar here kind of thing, this would absolutely be a buy at 42,400, and we would be looking for a test of the 43,000s region, if not higher. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at right now. The 1 hour chart is looking pretty decent. We got this flaggy kind of. So obviously we had our channel down with our 3 pushes. We get our sideways range a little bit, and then we try and break out of that range. Rejection, not quite an outside bar, but certainly an outside body, and it does take a high. And then yet another outside body, so it's almost like an expanding triangle of sorts, but mainly just, you know, clear swallowing up of these bears, right? And then we push a little bit higher, get a rejection candle, strong push back to the bottom, but again, this is back into the range, right? We have this range. We tried to escape the range. We came back into the range. What happens when you get back into the range? Your first target is going to be the opposite end of that range. Try to push through, was not able to push through. Put in this small inside bar here, followed by a long bar, and then putting in an inside bar following that. I mean, this is a pretty good setup coming up in 15 minutes that we long that, probably put a stop on, I guess, the other side of here. And then, yes, we will be looking for something like 43 kecks, thereabouts. So, yeah, this is the look that we're looking at right now. Kind of looking maybe not super the best on this, like we're just going to go up straight, but maybe we get kind of like another opportunity to get a good long in here, and then we start to make a push a little bit closer to, I mean, like the 4 hour chart. Yeah, it would make sense to kind of do, maybe take a couple candles, maybe on the daily open tomorrow. I mean, if we do close this candle, something like this, I would expect that for daily open tomorrow we continue to push. So yeah, these are definitely the trade looks that we were looking at. I was thinking about longing this, honestly. I was thinking about putting an entry above this level, 42,222. So I think it's pretty reasonable to put in an order for 42,222 or 42,230, something like that, and hope that you get filled. Like here or something like that, maybe a little bit higher, maybe like 42,250 kind of area. Possibly maybe we get filled right here, bounce off of this MA, and then continue pushing higher. That's certainly reasonable. And then obviously your stop down here. Probably don't need to put it all the way down at the bottom of this, because if we do get back to that range, we are kind of at the bottom of this trading range again. So would not be surprised to see something like this, you know, especially if that coincides with like this area here, like right at daily open, like something like, maybe we even do like this, and then on daily open we get a dump down here to take out these stops, and then continue upward. Possible like holding this level too, but just kind of extending this trading range activity here. Very possible. So something to be a little bit careful of if you want to put your stop all the way down here. I think it just makes I just think it makes more sense to kind of do maybe like a long in this area, your stop down here underneath this bar, or maybe even this bar, since they're pretty close to each other. And we can leave the $100 in between here and here, and you know, you shouldn't be getting stopped out anyway. if the trade is going to be successful. And then first target would probably be somewhere around here, yeah, like maybe 43,000 exactly. You can put like where we had these highs. Let's see if there are any high time frame closes. Yeah, we have a high time frame close right at 43,026. So yeah, maybe around like 43,000 is a decent place to put your first target. And then as we like kind of watch and see how the market continues to play out, you know, maybe we continue pushing upward tomorrow or something. Something like this, possibly. And then maybe like strong, you know, something like this. Okay, it's just really hard to draw in a straight line, I suppose. You know, you never know. And like this could honestly end up being a triangle as well or whatever. And kind of like get a final push to 48K and then go to zero. No, I'm just playing, not go to zero. But like, yeah, we are looking at some sort of flag slash channel possibly area here. So yeah, this would not be out of the question to see something like this happen on higher time frames. It would work well with our daily chart. Possibly starting to put in some strength here and you know, looking to sustain that. It would really help that to have a close closer to this high and then just to continue up higher to open the day. If we do close down here, there's a much better chance of us just kind of retracing this entire move and potentially, I mean, this could even be done, you know, the bull leg could be done and we could just go, you know, all the way down to 30s-ish. So I wouldn't say this is like a precipice of like super supreme importance that like whatever happens here determines whether we're going to 48K or 28K. But certainly this is a good, this is an important candle to be following, this follow through candle on this daily chart, because we would like to know if this is going to be the type of situation where we have our full move in here. Oops. And then just another test of the high, and then a rejection, or if we are going to have a sustained second leg up, because if we are going to have a second sustained leg up, it's possible to start drawing something a little bit like this that could encompass the entirety of the move, and this could just be one leg possibly. You know, maybe we even make it like a channel like this, something like this, and we could just stay in this channel, continue channeling up, 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 up somewhat. So something to keep an eye on. I wouldn't really call that a spike in channel, but yeah, just something to keep an eye on. All right, thank you.